All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to take us to key concept 4.6, internal and external challenges to state power from 1450 to 1750. State expansion and centralization led to resistance from an array of social, political, and economic groups on a local level. Examples include the Pueblo revolts against the Spanish. So, Pope's uprising is one of the best examples of these. It's a revolt against the Spanish. In 1680, the Native Americans of what is modern-day Santa Fe, New Mexico, the Native Americans killed some 400 Spaniards and forced the rest of the Spanish colonizers to leave the areas. Another example is the Fronde rebellions. In France, there was a series of rebellions against the Louis XIV French monarch that arose from 1648 to 1653. Louis managed to crush the rebellions and centralize control to such a high degree that historians begin using the phrase absolute monarch to describe the French monarchy. Another example is Cossack revolts. Cossacks are known for their very fierce and successful warriors. They originated in Poland all the way through Lithuania and Russia, and from the 16th through the 18th centuries, they rebelled against these three kingdoms. They frequently raided the Ottoman Empire and expanded north and east across Eurasia. Another example is the Maratha conflicts with the Mughals. The Marathas are a caste of Hindus native to India. They created a Maratha kingdom that fought until the 19th century against the Mughal sultans. Another example is Anna Nzinga's resistance as ruler of Ndongo and Matamba. Anna Nzinga was a 17th century queen of modern-day Angola who fought a series of rebellions against the Portuguese. Another example is Metacom's War, or what is often known in the United States as King Philip's War. The British didn't like pronouncing Metacom's name, so they nicknamed him King Philip. Metacom was a Wampanoag leader that was called Philip by the Pilgrims that settled New England. The English settlers fought a war against the Native Americans of the region from 1675 to 1678. The war was destructive to both the English settlers and to the indigenous Native Americans, but much of New England became depopulated of Native Americans as a result of the war. Another example is slave resistance that challenged existing authorities in the Americas. Slave resistance examples include the establishment of escaped slave societies, what are known as maroon societies, in the Caribbean and Brazil. North American slave resistance occurred as well. Like in Latin America, North American slaves resisted by escaping, by trying to break their tools and other methods. One example is the Great Dismal Swamp Maroons, who occupied the swamps in the western part of the state of Virginia and the part of North Carolina. Also important are state rivalries, including the 30 Years' War in Europe, primarily a war between Catholics and Protestants from 1618 to 1648, and the Ottoman-Safavid conflict, which went on all throughout the 16th century and then culminated in a big war that was going on at the same time, between about 1623 to 1639. Importantly, the 30 Years' War in Europe is going to end with the Peace of Westphalia, which is signed in 1648. It marked the effective end of the medieval idea of universal Christendom and instead replaced it with this idea of nation states. The Peace of Westphalia accelerated the decline of the Holy Roman Empire by giving princes, bishops, and other local leaders control over religion and let them decide whether they wanted to be Protestant or Catholic. Now, this will create a new system for world order that will be based on this idea of a balance of power. Very importantly, the Ottoman-Safavid conflict did not end with any equivalent Peace of Westphalia. And so in contrast to Europe, where religion would decline as an important reason for warfare, the same thing would not occur throughout Islamic areas. Ladies and gentlemen, that is key concept 4.6.